Hello everyone, welcome to the channel of Political Science Tutorials. In this video, I am going to discuss about Machiavelli's political thought with the reference of his two notable writings, The Prince and Discourses on Livy. Please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon for the notification of next videos. Machiavelli by birth was an Italian. He was born in the year 1469 and died in the year 1527. Here is a map of 15th century Italy. Then Italy was divided into city-states, not like present unified Italy. He was born in the city of Florence. In this map, you can see the position of Florence. He was a political philosopher and statesman in the phase of Italian Renaissance. In European history, this period marking from 15th century to 16th century. The young Machiavelli, appointed as a diplomat after the temporary fall of Florence's ruling Medici family in the year 1494. Until 1494, Medici family was ruling Florence. In 1494, Florence became a republic. He served as a diplomat for 14 years, but with his involvement, an unsuccessful attempt was organized against the return of Medici family in 1512. After this, he was in exile in allegation of conspiracy against Medici family. This was a dark period for his career, but the time away from politics gave him the opportunity to read Roman history and to write political treatises, most notably The Prince. His most notable books are The Prince, published after his death but written in the year 1513, Discourses on Livy 1513 to 1517, The Art of War 1521, Florentine History 1525, and he has often called as the father of modern political philosophy. Here are some famous quotes by Machiavelli. He believed a ruler should be widely feared than to be greatly loved. In his words, a prince cannot observe all those things for which men are held good since he is often under a necessity to maintain his state of acting against faith, against charity, against humanity, against religion. Now our points of discussion are why Machiavelli advised the prince to do such things or to practice such things. His famous book The Prince was written in the year 1513, but it was published after his death in the year 1532. By profession, Machiavelli was a diplomat, and you can say a practicing politician who experienced the real face of politics in his day-to-day life. He wrote his book Prince from his experiences. He experienced that politics is other name of deception, cunningness, treachery, betray, crime, etc. So he viewed politics as a game, and this battle fought through calculation to win, not with morality. In this regard, he is different from his predecessors like Plato, Aristotle, and other philosophers who thought politics should be practiced with normative principles, or what a head of the state should do or not will be considered. From this point, Machiavelli's realistic approach took shape. According to him, a political ruler should only be concerned with how power should be acquired and how this acquired power should be maintained. Moral goodness has no relation with legitimate authority. Normally, to run a state, political authority give importance to laws. But Machiavelli gave importance to arms over law because he thinks it is impossible to make people obedient without arms, and he thinks good laws cannot be without good arms. Why Machiavelli suggested only a trained prince? Machiavelli thinks that in general men are ungrateful, disloyal, insincere, deceitful, timid of danger, and always seek for profit. A prince is going to face these people. If the prince is not trained about how to handle people and cannot foresee the next consequences, he will not be able to maintain his power. In this regard, Machiavelli explained the relation among power, virtue and fortuna. The word virtue, virtu, is an Italian word and has same meaning of English word virtue. But Machiavelli used this term as to some personal qualities that the prince will find it necessary within him to maintain his power to rule the state and to achieve great things. Fortuna or fortune, which normally used to luck or destiny, but according to Machiavelli, the prince is not going to depend on his fortune, rather they will make their own fortune. To acquire virtue and to deny fortune, a prince needs power, and this is the relation among virtue, fortune and power. If power is not exercised, there is ultimate threat to the safety of and security of the state. So it need to rule a state for a prince to maximize the virtue or personal quality and minimization of the role of fortune. Here a point should be noted that though Machiavelli advised prince to follow immoral means when needed, at the same time he distinguished between private and public morals. He justified these immoral means for the prince only because he has a noble objective, that is to maintain a political order, and for that reason a prince practice immoral means. But a prince's virtue may be a vice for common people and vice versa. Prince will be different from people in moral standards. Now we will discuss about his second notable book, Discourses on Livy, which is divided in 10 parts, written from 1513 to 1517, but published in the year 1531 or 4 years after his death. His first book, Prince, is on the duties, qualities, virtues, actions of a prince, and Machiavelli's advice how a prince take decision not guided by moral principles but guided by practical political situation and considering the human character. But in his book Discourses on Livy is about a republican character of a state. How Machiavelli defends the republican character with its central character as prince now is the point of our discussion. In 1970s, thinkers like J.G.A. Pocock and Quentin Skinner, who works on republicanism, locates a republican tradition which starts with Aristotle and continues through the organization of medieval city-state and continued through Renaissance humanism and the establishment of the contemporary American Republic. In Discourses on Livy, Machiavelli suggests how a republic should be started and structured. He explained the advantages of republic and suggests to save a republic if necessary to return it to a kingly state using violent means. He studied Roman political history and influenced by Roman laws and the way Rome was established and freedom enjoyed by its citizens. In his book The Prince, he was totally silent about freedom or rights of citizens. But in Discourses on Livy, he is concerned about freedom of citizens. According to him, it cannot be said that there was no tension between Roman Senate and common people, but by effective measures, Roman political ideas developed. First, they sought out the problems and then controlled before it became uncontrollable. Though he started from Roman ideas, but his transition of thought was a universal view. In this regard, he mentioned that how religion, culture, and values which we think are good for a society, this also corrupt people and government. To him, republic is a balanced system where nobility of rulers will be maintained, and at the same time people will enjoy freedom, feel secured and proper according to their efforts. Machiavelli was against monarchy, but he praised French monarchy for its deep adherence to the law, or it guided by laws which ensures citizens' prosperity. In the last chapters of Discourses, his purpose was to guide the political head about how to win the conquered nation by assimilating them into a republic. A strong political head will secure the freedom, security, prosperity of the citizens of a republic. Considering the main theme of these two books and other writings, political thinkers considered him as inconsistent, self-contradictory, unsystematic. But as the starting point to evaluate him should be he was a practicing politician, and his aim was a stable political situation, and for that reason he was in search of a strong prince. Analyzing human nature, he advised prince to follow immoral means if necessary. For the unstable condition of the city-states, he blamed Christianity because it glorifies people's suffering and believed that people will restrain themselves to say evil as evil, and for this reason wrong things in society continue to happen. But the point should be noted that though Machiavelli was a pro-republican, he never was in view that power should be vested on many hands, which is the usual premise of republican principle. Though he accomplishes the political system of different governments, he never prescribed to follow any. Rather, he posited a universal view about republicanism. For his advice to the prince to follow the immoral means to rule a state, some thinkers called his book The Prince as Mafia Bible, which is responsible for the rising of leaders like Hitler, Stalin, etc. But some called it Art of Politics, as it advises the potential adjustment within the political system. Some call him Galileo of politics, as his theory was based on facts and concluded things value neutrally, which is the main principle of science. Lastly, it can be said that his theory is the product of his time, and it cannot be ignored that human nature is unpredictable. His main aim was to save Florence with the help of a strong king. His loyalty was to Florence, not to any ruler. Hope the points about Machiavelli's political thoughts are clear to you. Thank you for watching. Take care.